Hello. Hi, Bianca.
Hey, Alex. The game is no longer rigged because
Because you got in.
basically
But Brent did get closer than you. I'm just saying.
you don't have whatever. Anyways, hey everyone, welcome to A/B testing.
Welcome to the post-drop game show.
Yes, glad to have you join us. It's always a delight. Great to see y'all. If you're joining from YouTube, hello. I got to do my YouTube voice. Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
And then if you're joining from Twitch, hey, because that's
Sup, Twitch. Do we have different? Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. You got to get the voices right for each one.
Yeah, we'll play around with our voices for each platform. And if you're
chat, let us know which voices you prefer based on your platform.
Let us know. Anyways, what do we have on the docket today, Alex? Like, let us know. What can we expect today on today's show?
I am so excited. Our main focus for today is going to be on voice intelligence, which is kind of a suite of products that we have here at Twilio that analyze voice calls. And it's, I don't think we're going to be able to get to it, but there's some exciting announcements coming at Signal. But we're just going to preview it now. And we're going to be joined by one of our greats, by Kaelyn, who is an evangelist that specializes in voice. And we're going to learn a little bit about Kaelyn, and then we're going to dive into voice intelligence and show you all the cool things that we're helping customers do with AI. Because at the end of the day, AI is really great, but it can be a little bit challenging. So we're helping people use it better to understand their customers, to make better experiences. Like, that's what it's all about.
I love it. Making sure AI is additive, right? And adding value. Always here for that. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So,
and I'm glad Craig is excited about Kaelyn. Kaelyn is one of the few people who managed to rickroll Craig live in public at one point, which was a great experience to watch.
Yeah.
So,
that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay. Let's want to kick things off.
Yeah. Let's welcome Kaelyn to the show. We got to unmute you too. There we go.
Hi. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be back on A/B testing. It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Kaelyn, you are our first guest on A/B testing.
That's so special.
And now you're back for episode 50.
Wait, but what about Brent?
Brent's the producer. He doesn't. He's a staple.
We're not counting Brent.
No, Brent, we're not counting Brent. You were the first. We'll call it external guest. But yes, technically Brent was on first. Brent was also there with us from the beginning, producing our episodes from day one. Thank you, Brent, for making this happen, for bringing us all here onto Twitch. We wouldn't be here without you. But our first,
Sorry, I'm still in shock that this is episode 50. There's only 52 weeks in a year. I mean, congratulations. I want to give you guys a round of applause as well. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Alex and Bianca, for giving us 50 episodes of fun.
Woo!
Thank you. That is amazing.
We need like those emojis. I turn all those things off on my camera though. Like, I guess we could I, the like, you know what I'm talking about? The Apple, yeah, I don't know. I never know if they're going to work or not, but I don't know what buttons I need to push. Confusing stuff. Anyways, we'll have a party. Yeah. We celebrated a year of streaming. I think like two shows ago. Cause we took a little time off for, during the holidays. So, but yeah, it's 50 episodes, which is wild that we're doing this and we're still going strong. We're going to be here for another 50. I hope. That's a long time. That's the plan though. We're not going anywhere. Kaelyn, what are you drinking?
Don't even ask. I'm on this sort of health kick right now, and I'm trying to get rid of all caffeine. So I'm drinking yerba mate, and I don't know if you can tell, but this yerba mate is not coffeeing right now.
Wait, yerba mate has caffeine.
No! Does it really?
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, so it might.
Okay.
All right. We'll work on
I'm
it.
just going to make some coffee. No, I'm just going to make some coffee. If that's the case, all this time, I'm cutting out caffeine, and now I'm just drinking weaker caffeine.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Wow.
Dang.
Yerba mate
Yeah.
would like to have a word.
A herbal tea originating from South America contains caffeine. It depends on how you brew it. You're probably brewing in a way that doesn't. Are you like the traditional way involves like a gourd and like a weird special straw that goes into the gourd, and it's very strong and bitter. No gourd. Yeah, you're just going for it. I definitely have a gourd downstairs.
I like what Carly said, which is like, it's not coffee caffeine, because it's like, does it really count? You know what I mean? It's like, but then the tea
does not count.
At 800 milligrams of caffeine per cup, yerba mate contains about the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee.
Oh,
for what?
Well then, anywho,
For what?
moving right along. So, Kaelyn, it is great to have you back with some caffeine. Always a delight. So, okay, we want to make sure, there are some people that are acquainted with you, but we definitely want to make sure, the squad is learning more about you. So how long have you, what's your official title here? How do people introduce you?
I'm a developer evangelist, promoting the voice product. I don't know. I would just like to consider myself a developer evangelist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love that name. I love going up to people and saying that I'm an evangelist because they already assume that the church is involved somehow.
Got it.
And I always get the wildest looks. So I'm like, I'm an evangelist for a tech company. And they're like, what?
They're probably like, what are y'all doing over in that Silicon Valley? They're like, they made a tech church. No, that's wrong. Okay, so you're a developer evangelist, specializing in voice. And I guess, why are you so excited? Like, if we were to kind of stay there a little bit, but what is your favorite part, right, of being an evangelist? Just kind of curious.
Definitely the teaching part. I love being able to just take really complicated topics and sort of make it manageable and digestible to the masses, especially when there's so many people that are new or entering the tech industry for the first time. When I first started, everything was so daunting, reading the docs, trying to troubleshoot what I was working on. And I was just like, man, I wish this could be explained in a way that I could just, not get stressed whenever I have a problem and have to, rely on so many other, assistance methods.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was like, let's just make it manageable. Let's make it so everybody has the opportunity to use tech.
No, I love that. And I think I'm also curious, where you see, I think evangelists, yes, you work with kind of the individual developer, but even work with companies, right? How do you see that same ethos kind of showing up as you're kind of supporting companies?
Ooh. No, that's a good question, because sometimes, we'll have hackathons at companies whenever a company has an idea that they're trying to bring to light. Ooh, full screen. Whenever they're trying to they're trying to implement something. They don't know how to use Twilio per se, but, we get all the engineers in a room and we're just like, hey, let's do this together. This might be frustrating, but we will get through this. And just, getting that energy of just going from, I don't want to do this. This is too complicated, to, oh, there's a whole new feature that we could probably add on to this. I love that excitement that you get when you're working, both with individuals and in groups, especially corporate groups.
Yeah. Is there, because I love the job too, and for a lot of the same reasons, but I'm wondering, are there things or elements about how you, as you said, teach tech or help people get over the hump that you are surprised by, or I'm trying to figure out how to word this question. What are the things, or what have you learned that makes it easier for people to grasp the technology or to get a more technical point across?
I like that. Good job.
That's a good question. Usually, honestly, what works, and I don't know, you might question my methodology, but when you make it silly, I feel like it sticks a lot better.
Yeah.
So I was doing a webinar about WebSockets, and I was like, okay, let's imagine that we're in medieval time and you're dealing with carrier pigeons. You might send out 3 carrier pigeons, you might get back 1 carrier pigeon, you never know. But it's it's those silly references that you make that that really stick with people. They don't always hit though. They don't always hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes people more confused, and it's like, okay, let's just think of another creative way to describe this.
Yeah, I really like that. I actually literally last night was talking to the instructor for my improv class about, unfortunately, I'm going to miss my next show because I'm going to be at Signal presenting. So I'm still going to be on stage, but not doing improv. Maybe doing improv. We'll find out. But I was like, yeah, I'm doing this for work. And one of the things she said is like, whatever's the most boring thing in your presentation, give the wildest example. Like that'll make it stick for somebody. Like the more boring it is, the more out there you should get with your example to make it stick. And I feel like it's the same thing. It's like WebSockets are kind of a pain in the ass. Like they're not easy to understand. They're a little bit harder than everything else. And I love that you just like decided it's carrier pigeons. That's great.
Very important.
Chaos. You got to bring the chaos to teaching, because that really wakes people up.
Yeah.
Like, what did you say? Oh, okay. I'll pay attention more.
Yeah. I mean, we all can get so serious. Like we can start to take these things like so serious. So I do think there's some value with that. Okay. So can you kind of walk us through, like, how did you get here? Like, did you just wake up one day, knocked on the Twilio door, and we're like, "Hey, Twilio, I'm here." Just kind of curious. How did you float into Twilio?
I mean, Bianca, that's kind of very close to how it actually happened. So, I mean, I told you guys about the coding bootcamp story, and then I started teaching at the coding bootcamp, and then I was like, yeah, let's be a teacher. And then, I was looking at teacher paychecks, and I was like, okay, maybe not. And then I was like, okay, let me become a cloud developer. Because that's upcoming, that's what people need. IoT devices, home systems, automated lighting. And then I was like, you know what, I miss teaching. And I was like, hey, Twilio,
get to do a little of both.
Yeah, can I teach here, please? And Twilio was just like, yeah, just make a lesson and teach it to us. And oh yeah, that was actually my interview. I forgot. We had to build something not using the Twilio API and then present it to everybody that was now my team.
What did you do? Do you remember what your presentation was?
I'm trying to remember. I think it had something to do with security.
Okay.
And like having the right credentials. I can't remember. It was with AWS, and it was whatever I was doing at my job, and I was like,
perfect.
Oh,
no, that's real. What would you if you were to do your demo today? What would it be?
That's really hard. That's a good question, because there's so many APIs out there that I've learned about, and they would all include AI. But sorry, I'm really thinking like, what would I build? Oh, that's such a good question. Something that does not include API. Include AI.
No AI.
Just to stand out. Like everybody else is building with Open API. I want this to be completely, analog. Like I want just to do it.
Okay.
Just to be ridiculous.
I love that. I really wanted to get something like in the physical world working. And I think if I were to do it again, I would try to do like an Arduino demo or something like that. Cause I feel like that, like there's something about like plugging things in the physical world that just adds a little something. And I had a plan to, for mine to like make a robot move in the real world. And I was like, that's too complicated. It's not going to work. So I just made a robots move in simulation, which was fun. But yeah.
Oh wait, Alex, what was yours? What was your?
So I come from the robotics, like I had a robotics background. And so I used this tool called ROS, which is the robot operating system. And I basically showed like a little graphic. Bianca was there, she remembers, of like a turtle going in a circle. Just to like show like, oh, I can like code this little turtle in a circle. And then I was like, look at the power of this. I just need to flip this one switch. And all of a sudden it was like a robot in a simulation moving in a circle. So I was talking about like how the interoperability and how to like test things in robotics, and why it's so valuable to have a system that can work for both like your testing and your simulation and then in the real world too.
It was a good presentation. I feel like we got a sense of Alex's personality. It was good. I mean, Alex is here, so
It worked. Yeah.
It worked. It clearly worked.
Yeah. So Kaelyn, you mentioned like IoT devices. What have you done in the IoT space, or like where, like, do you like automate your house now?
I think after being in the IoT space, I wanted to do the exact opposite of that. I was like, okay, I'm taking all the automation out of my house. Because after working there, it's like, wow, there is a lot of, there's a lot of control that you have. And,
Yeah.
this isn't being,
I like all the control.
Can I be like,
do all the things.
Beautiful.
I know. Well, yeah, you can say whatever you want on this.
I can say whatever I want. Okay.
Well,
I think
within reason.
I will leave the name of where I used to work out, but I was there as a junior developer, and then I had access to prod, and I was like, I don't know if I should have access to all this information. This is a lot. Like, I know where every light, I know where every outlet is in some people's houses. Like, I was like, this is a lot of information that they collect. So I was like,
That's
I
wild.
think I want to stay away from automating stuff in my house. Although I have Alexa for the hue lights, but
Yeah.
they could take that information.
Yeah.
It doesn't have my address or anything.
I try to trip up the systems. I'm like, you're not in my room, you're in my kitchen, and like I'll just misname everything. Honestly, so that's when my I just confuse everyone. It's like, yeah, this is my closet, honestly, because of course you need a speaker in your closet. So just
yeah, you got to dance and get ready at the same time.
Of course, so it's like just trip up everybody a little bit. No,
I hear that.
It's so tough though, because it's like on one end, you want to kind of connect people to great tech, right? And just make it easy for them, but then also at the same time, like what is too far? So it's just like that nice, it's a tough balance. But yeah. Alex, any questions? What do you got for Kaelyn?
Oh, I got so many questions.
All the questions.
I have chaotic answers.
So I'm curious about this. So you went from being in a coding bootcamp to immediately working at that coding bootcamp, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you I feel like there has got to be like a little bit of imposter syndrome because you hadn't gone out and like coded in the real world. How did you get over that?
That's actually one of the reasons why I did, besides, the paycheck, because, I love teaching so much that the pay, it didn't matter too much. But, I'm telling my students like, oh, this is what you're going to have to deal with. You need to learn this so you're ready for the real world. And I just felt like I was the worst person to be giving this advice out. It's like, I've never been in the real world. Let me actually see what it's like. And honestly, being in the real world was a lot easier than being a teacher.
Yeah.
Like once I got there, I was like, I didn't need to know all of that information. I was spreading lies. I was spreading lies to my students. I was like, how could I? The world is not that, you don't need to commit everything to memory and understand everything.
It reminds me of a moment where like in my undergraduate studies, I did mechanical engineering, and then I went and worked in data centers. And at one point I was like trying to figure out how many air handling units we needed in a room based on how many computers, blah, blah, blah. Like it was, and I cracked open my thermodynamics book. I don't think I still have it. Cracked open my thermodynamics book and like did the equations, like plugging in all this thing, blah, blah, blah. And then I took it to like the engineers who actually did it. And they're like, oh, we just have a chart and we just like look at this chart and like now you just like put it into the computer and it would do it for you. They're like, we don't actually do all that math anymore. Like, yeah, sure, I know where it comes from, but like I just like there's a table and if it says this number, I use this number. Like it was like a revelation where I'm like, oh yeah, somebody's already figured this out. Like it's good to know the fundamentals and the basics, but at the end of the day, like yeah, a lot of it's kind of like a little, I don't know if didactic's the right word, but like you don't need to know all the things. You'll learn so much more on your job that's different than what you could possibly learn in school.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're muted, Bianca.
I was like, why am I about to tear up on stream? This was actually pretty healing. Like I think like we've made learning so complicated. So like, I don't know, like that, your comment almost made me tear up because I'm like, we tell ourselves like, you got to know it all. Right. And this applies to so many parts of life. And I think like, you probably can speak to that from a parenting side, like read all the books, know everything, but it's like, no, actually like, know a baseline, right? Have an understanding, but like, there's so much learning that just comes from doing, from being, from like, that. And I think like, like, man, it spoke to my soul. And I think about it even just with like, you think about like even working with founders, right? Like the founders are like, I need to know all the things about building a great company. And it's like, you can read all the books, but the experience that you'll get from just doing, from being, from trying, from exploring, I don't know. I think your comment was just like such a powerful reminder of like, yeah, like just a powerful reminder. So
yeah, get out there, don't overthink it, try your best. There's usually a Wikipedia page that can answer all your questions, internal or external.
Well,
yeah.
And I think the weird part for me was I learned the most from the electricians and plumbers, from like literally the guys who like, you don't think they were wickedly smart in the thing, knew everything about what they did. And that's who I learned the most from, which is so different than like, oh, I have this degree and then a master's degree, blah, blah, blah. And yet at the same time, the most frustrating, you're mentioning founders, was the founders who are convinced they know everything and that they're smarter than everybody else. So it's like, at the same time, I had like people who you wouldn't typically like think of, and like, I'm like, they know what they're talking about. And you'd have other people, I'd be like, I have to run interference to make sure this founder doesn't mess it up. That's been my life, but it's good. I'm glad that, yeah. And now we're all here doing education and storytelling together. Yay.
It's honestly the best. No, this is, I love this job. I do. Yeah. I love the people that we get to reach. I love the differences that we get to make. And it also helps that we have a really awesome product that we're working with.
It's a very underrated. That is a very underrated thing. Like really just a love of like, it's like, are you excited about this? Like, I think that was actually one of the pulls for me. Cause I was like, thinking about infrastructure, like the foundation that kind of propels so many other things, right? Messaging and like just so many things, right? The Twilio powers. And I think infrastructure, foundations. And I was like, yeah, that I can get behind this. I can get excited about this. So, okay. We love kind of connecting to customers. What are some other things that you love? I've seen some plants. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a connection, if there's I'm just kind of curious. What are you into, Kaelyn? What are you into? What's your wave?
Anything that's crafty, honestly. Like if it's sewing, if it's plants is sort of my main jam though, plants. And I don't know if, can you see thank you, full screen. That like, I'm getting into flower arrangements. I have.
Ooh.
Is that like a framed, like, what is that? Is that a framed like planter? Like, what is that exactly?
Can I move? It might
you
be
can. I don't know what's going to happen. That's cool.
So yeah,
I really like that.
It's like a frame and then a little glass bottle.
Oh, that's cool.
That is. I mean, I like that.
The plants look a little sad. This was from last week. Boy, this is why I don't move my laptop. Yeah, I lost y'all. Okay, I'll be back.
We're still here. You're back. Yeah, and you're in LA now, right? Is that right, or am I? Yeah.
No. You were 100% right.
And you're from New York originally. Do you find it easier in LA to have your plants, or was it good in both of them?
I don't know what's going on with the weather in LA, but my plants won't stop growing and I don't know what to do. I really don't know, because I have this plant, Mr. Fiddle.
Mr. Fiddle,
the plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we got a little freeze, but that's okay.
I know.
Just over there casually doxing, I guess. Okay, LA and New York are huge cities. We'll we'll take Kaelyn off for a minute until we get her back. LA and New York are huge cities. I don't think I'm doxing anybody by saying you used to live in the most populous city in America. Now you live in the second most populous.
I'm glad Frankfurt added that comment because I was about to say the other city that Kaelyn lived in. So I was like, I think it was good because then I could we would have given the trail, the adventures. So okay.
But yeah, we'll get Kaelyn back in just a moment. Oh, her computer shut off.
Oh gosh, that's tough.
Okay.
Well then. Oh. Okay.
No worries.
All right. Well, we're here. Okay, we're talking. The
Frackberg,
joys.
I was thinking of you this morning because I was riding my bike's right there, and I was riding my stationary bike. I'm like, at some point, am I gonna have to like turn my camera around and do a stream on the bike? I don't think anyone really wants to see that, but I was like, well, that could be interesting.
But my thing is like, I think like, it's like, how did you even think of that, right? Like, I'm just gonna stream on a bike
because that's Frackberg's thing. Frackberg, yeah, I want to know how you got into like cycle streaming. That's a really good question.
I thought you said psycho streaming. I was like,
psycho.
Wow, I was
psycho
like, that's
streaming.
I was
Kiss
like,
kiss say. No, cycle streaming. I don't know what it's technically called.
Okay. No, because I am kind of curious. Like, I always wonder, like, how did someone land here, right? Like, even with like improv, right? Like, I wonder, like, the first person that like was like, I'm gonna improv, right? And then like even with the Rickroll, Craig, like you woke up one day and were like, yeah, I'm gonna Rickroll people. Like how did we get here? We're gonna have a segment one day called
There is like a proper history of improv. Like there's something that's like the first improv show. I believe it was in Chicago.
Okay.
I'm looking it up right now, and it was it was a group called the Compass Players in Chicago. It was a bunch of dudes in suits and ties that would come out and do improv. And I think we have our special friend back. Welcome back, Kaelyn. Do you need another minute? Okay, thought we had. Okay, welcome back. Okay, and then we have Craig telling us the origins of the Rickroll. Chef Brent saying it's core to the Twilio story. It goes back to the beginning, and it was Jeff Rickrolling with voice.
I love how you did the story with all the chat responses.
Yeah.
It was like a nice little flip book. It was good stuff.
Well, and then like if I'm curious, like Rickrolling. So the song is from 1987, but it made a resurgence in. It started. Rickrolling became a thing in 2008, and the company started right around then. So it was like, I feel like it was the same in the same time.
Okay.
I mean, I've got, I can always do. I have it queued up just in case.
Okay, cool. Very important. Very important. That song that's a hit. It's a hit right there.
Wait, okay, so Kaelyn, the best Rickroll ever. You actually, Craig's somebody who like literally has a water bottle with just a phone number on the side of it, and you call it a Rickrolls. Like Craig is the king of Rickrolls. So how did you get him? Like, what can you tell us the story of like how you Rickrolled Craig Dennis, Craig Codes?
It's funny because we were prepping for this webinar and we were having just such a difficult time trying to prep for it. And I don't know, it was just really stressful. And I was like, how can we lighten this up a little bit? Craig, I will never forget. And I don't know, I can't even get the words together to say just how appreciative I am that we got to work together on that event because I think you and I both know that webinar was challenging. So I was like, let's just make this fun again. Craig likes to Rickroll, and I was sweating beforehand. I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna notice. How do I make it so he can't tell? And honestly, it just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, but I also love even what you mentioned there too around like fun. Like we cannot forget the fun. Like I think I love how that even is like a theme. I will say the Rickrolls here were a helpful tool in security best practices because I'm not clicking the link. No, thank you. You know, like it depending on who it came from. Like there was I was like, it will take me somewhere that may not be my intended goal or page. So I definitely learned well there.
And
okay,
we just learned that that the first video on Twilio Dev's YouTube channel was about Rickrolling by Liz. Yeah, like this was the first video on Twilio Dev's YouTube, and it's Liz building a Rickroll with voice.
Wow,
that's wild.
That's awesome.
Look at the page. Aww.
Old Jeff, old Liz. I mean, this is from literally 9 seconds in, they already got the video going.
Aww.
That's how
4 years ago.
That's how you do it.
That is so wild though. Like even today I was just like, I use that. Yes. Oh no, I know, Carly. I called and I yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Carly had like a Twilio powered wedding. It was wild. Like she
is the photo frame.
That we should have Carly on one day to talk about all the things that she did with her wedding around Twilio.
It is wedding season. I mean, it's always kind of
summer. I feel like summer's wedding season. We're getting close.
Okay, we're getting, because I was like, well, not me being like, forget all you winter wedding people. You don't matter. It's just, you know, like, I was like, no, all weddings are valuable, whatever they are. But yes, okay. And then ChatGPT wrote the wedding vows. You shouldn't admit that, Carly. Come on. You know, this is on the internet.
Really?
So Carly, does that mean you're technically married to AI?
Wow.
She's proud of that.
Well then. Okay, so what's the word? Actually, I think this is actually a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Because not because we're talking about weddings. I'm not sponsored by weddings, but it is time for Sponsored Not Sponsored.
I feel like this is our new Sponsored Not Sponsored dance. There you go. Who's going first?
Okay, great. My Sponsored Not Sponsored. I'm gonna go first. Let me see if all right, share. Today's. Well, as a result of me progressively turning into an old lady, great. My sponsored are cupping. So my knee was just like acting wild, and the form of relief came through cupping. And I totally forgot about cupping, but I would never have thought to cup my knees. But then they use cupping on my, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. So anyways, sponsored, not sponsored. As you age, get some
cupping.
Get some cups. So that is a thing. And then
I once wanted to use cupping to augment a Halloween costume. Because I went as like a merman with a trident, and my wife went as like an octopus, and I was like, oh, I should get cups so it looks like I had like tentacle attacked across my back. But I didn't make it happen. I was like, that's perfect.
Creative.
You've seen what they look like. It looks like these giant bruises in circles on your body.
That is a good point. So sponsored, not sponsored, shout out to cupping. And then the other addition that I would say for that is shout out to health insurance. I know it's something that is it has been so thoughtful. I mean, y'all, these are the little things. I've been on this like at the end of the quarter, I like to make sure I like do all the wellness checks. And I was like, shout out to health insurance, you know, like, and just being able to take care of ourselves. I'm keeping on with the sponsored, not sponsored health kicks, because that's always either it's like health or skincare. So maybe next
related.
week it's all the same thing. Great. Yeah. Kaelyn, what do you have for us for sponsored, not sponsored?
I think this is actually the first time I've heard about sponsored, not sponsored, so I feel a little underprepared.
Did we forget to tell you?
We probably forgot to tell you. Apologies. Great.
My sponsor is cups.
Oh,
Okay.
you got some good cups.
All types of cups. I don't know.
Okay.
And this is just my desk. I just, get some interesting drinkware and
Yeah.
flatware. I don't know. It
It's-
just elevates your mood for some reason. Like,
And
pretty
you can.
cup.
It's a good thing to get at like estate sales or vintage stores because like it's usually not that expensive, and you can find some cool old stuff. We've got some old glassware too.
Where did you get some of those?
That's so this one I got in Kenya. Wait.
You guys are both talking about cups.
Just yeah. Sorry. That was good. That was good. That was good, Brent.
So this one I got while I was in Kenya.
Mm.
Okay.
Got in Mexico City. But whenever I travel, I just try to find like 2 cups to bring home. That's my thing.
Okay.
I like it.
But those are cool cups because I've been on the mug kick, and then I was like, how many mugs does one need, right? So I like this idea of cool cups. Grab a cool cup.
Gotta get a cool cup.
Not a magnet. Like there was one year I got like a spoon holder. I was like, girl, what are you thinking? Like it just
For when you cook.
I know, but like I
Was
don't know,
it
be
cute?
Like, ooh,
Oh, see, I'm imagining like a thing that holds your spoons like on the counter just all the time.
yeah, it is, but it was like it was not cute. It did not fit the aesthetic. And I was like, I could have gotten something else. So like, yeah, I like the idea of like a cool cup. Like a cool cup. Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
not a keychain, but
That'd be
yeah.
cool.
All right. What do you got for us, Alex?
Sweet. I want to know if people want me to go down the like travel route or down the cooking route.
Where is your energy leading you?
Mix
Well,
the
like-
2.
Mix the two. They don't mix. Not
Oh.
these.
Okay. Well,
It
I
was-
mean, as long as you wrap us up with like a book, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
I'll wrap you up with a book. All right, I'm gonna go the cooking route because
Okay.
this is actually one of my favorite things to cook with.
Ooh.
And it's a little techie, but I guarantee you Brent has one because his name's Chef Brent. I love cooking with a sous vide.
Oh, sous vide.
Oh,
I had a
it's
feeling it was gonna be this.
yeah. I like this is how I make steak, and it's perfect every single time. Like it's like impossible to mess up. It's so nice. Downside, it uses a little bit more plastic than most things, because you got to vacuum seal it in there. And it takes a lot of time, but I actually like that because like what I'll do is I'll be like taking a break from work in the early afternoon, and I'll throw the sous vide in, and then I will just come back a few hours later and then finish it. It's great. So yeah, I have the Anova. I probably have an older Anova than this one, but I really like it. I think that there's so many fun things you can do with it. Although it is about to be smoker season, so I'm going to be using it less pretty soon. But sous vides
Alex.
are great. Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've sous vide?
The
It does actually no.
weirdest-
What's the most interesting thing you've ever sous vide? Like, can I sous vide this? And you did it.
That's actually a good question. I don't know, because I do a lot of steak. Like that's the thing that I sous vide the most because it's like the easiest to control. Frackwork says it's always smoker season. When you live somewhere that gets cold, it's not always smoker season. It's often smoker season. One of the things that I think you don't think about is eggs, because you can make a perfect soft boiled egg. Like how you get ramen and it's got that like perfect like just barely runny egg. You can make that, and you can make the eggs exactly how you want. So I'd say like eggs are one of the weird ones, but I've done a lot of stuff. I've done like potatoes. I've done different veggies. But my go-to with that is definitely steak. I don't know if anyone else.
So we got some good stuff.
Chef Brent says he used sous vide to rapidly infuse a batch of limoncello. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I also sometimes use it to thaw things. Like if I need to cook something and it's not thawed out, I will like put it on in the sous vide at like 70 degrees. So it's still cool. It's not like cooking. But I really like my sous vide. I use it a lot. So that's mine. And then a book. I'm gonna go on AI themes today for books.
Okay.
So Isaac Asimov. I'm generally suggesting Isaac Asimov short stories. That's gonna be my thing. This is just one of them. This is like one of his collection book of short stories. I, Robot, which we think of as like the movie, was technically a collection of short stories. And he was thinking about the implications of AI and robotics, but mostly AI on society 70 years ago, like so long ago, before we could even understand what it was. And I just think it's like really refreshing to look back at, like, people have been thinking about these things for a while. Like, and we hear about like the 3 laws of robotics. Like, those are things that not exactly the way they're put, but are, I think, relevant today. And there's even a reoccurring character in his book that's basically a robot psychiatrist. And I'm like, I wonder at some point if there's going to be like, you know, AI psychiatrists that like have to diagnose your AI for why it went off the rails. But like, I think that it's kind of fun that there's something that's this. I mean, Asimov was writing in like a long time ago. Like, I don't know when this particular book was published in, like, this particular book was originally published in, the oldest story I can see here was published in 1940. So like, he was writing this stuff a while ago, and then it's got stuff through the 60s, 70s, and 80s that he was writing in this particular collection. Isaac Asimov is also one of like the most prolific writers of all time. But I don't know. I just think it's fun to like look back at the past to see what people are thinking about with some of these things. So that's my book rec for today. Either of you read any Isaac Asimov?
No. I haven't, but now I think we're just gonna create a page. I think that'll be something we build on stream. A collection of all our sponsored, not sponsored. Just kidding. Wow.
Brent's talking about some bed sheets.
Oh, I've heard that. Okay, Frackberg has read the first Foundation book. Also, we were able to get an update from, I just call everyone the Chef Brent, the Frackberg. So to answer Bianca's question, I stumbled on the Twitch biking streams because one of my streamers was doing it, and I realized it had a category. It was all downhill, not uphill. I see what you did there. Just downhill. Yeah. Okay, great.
If I'm gonna just, Frackberg mentioned that he read the first Foundation book, which is right here. It's this one. Did you know that there's a connection between Foundation and Dune? One of the characters in Foundation's about like kind of like maintaining order in society over time, and one of the characters is somebody who like has these special powers to like see the future and like understand what's in people's minds, and it's like such an aberration that throws the whole plan off. That's like what Foundation is, and that's like the main bad guy as you get further down the series. The character's name's the Mule, if anyone's watching the show as well. It's a very beautiful show. Frank Herbert supposedly like wrote Dune a little bit as an antithesis to Foundation, because Paul Atreides is a little bit like the Mule, and so they're kind of like parallel stories in some way, but told from the opposite perspective, kind of with different kind of like vibes. But yeah, I always like to hear about that connection.
No, you guys should definitely make a list and check it out, so we could check it out. And the book recommendations.
You know who has an epic book recommendation list is Kelly. Really? Kelly Robinson, our team. She has an Airtable with like every book she's read for the last couple of years, with like a summary, how she thinks of it, and then like would she recommend it. And I appreciate that. Yeah.
I got a message her for that list.
I know. Kaelyn, can we get your screen up so we can start doing some Twilio demos?
Absolutely. Bianca, you might be.
I am. Before we, I guess, before Kaelyn, for those who might just be joining us, what are you getting ready to kind of show us, Kaelyn?
We're going to do a quick voice intelligence demo as soon as I can get everything together. Sorry, my computer restarted earlier, and I'm trying to like map all my screens. I had everything all ready to go, and it's just.
Of course, that's usually how it goes. We definitely have kind of, what is the word? Oh gosh, why am my brain freezing? No, I think I was just kind of curious of just like, okay, like what? Yeah, just kind of walking us through even before, like, yeah, what is it? Why is it valuable to kind of folks? But yeah, I'll let you kind of jump right into it.
Gotcha. So voice intelligence came out a while back, but the best thing about it is that it's able to turn conversation into, oh my gosh, I was just about to say into actionable data.
Someone has read the marketing material.
Oh my gosh. No, but it's really the best way to describe it, like taking a regular conversation and trying to get information from it. Like, I'm not re-listening to a bunch of recorded phone calls. I want everything to be automated. So, I mean, this is just a way to automate and grab information from your phone calls, whether they be live phone calls or pre-recorded phone calls that you have stored somewhere else. It's just a way to, know what's going on without having to listen to everything. So I think I am ready.
This feels like such a ripe place for AI. Like, it feels like such a good AI use case. And it's not overly complicated. The other thing is, like, it's near real time, I believe. I don't know if it's fully real time. It's pretty quick though. But it's just, I don't know. We've been building this for a while, and it makes sense that it's like underneath the hood with all the voice that we do at Twilio.
Yeah, and I love how it's so funny that you use like that marketing language, because I do think sometimes we can forget, like, if you're trying to get a good grasp, like that marketing page actually can kind of give you a sense of like, how can this help you? How is this helping you like solve your problems, and like what problem can it help solve? So I'm also kind of curious, like, where you often see like these resources kind of fitting into a customer's journey, right? Like, yeah.
Ask me a little bit more. What do you mean by fitting into the customer's journey? Because this is something that you'd have to set up beforehand.
Right.
No. I'm aware. I think kind of like where, I guess what is the word?
Like, when would a customer be ready to start using voice AI? Like,
yeah.
Would you do this? Like, if you were, let's say, like Kaelyn is starting her new education on demand startup, what, like, something you care about, plant education on demand, right? At what point would you like start with voice intelligence turned on, or would you wait like, at what point is this useful for somebody?
Thanks.
I think Alex said. It's useful when you're ready to collect data, because you don't really need to collect data all the time. Like, I like to use the example, if you are starting a business and you would like to sort of keep track of all the orders that are coming through, keep track of, what was said during the conversation, if people were happy, sad, or neutral, or if you're asking for feedback. So like, if you're at the end of the call, you're like, oh, press 1 if you would like to leave some feedback, and you can automate and get some information about how your service agents are doing. I think those are some really great places to start. But let me go ahead and share my screen.
So go for it. And I just want to, like, as you're getting that ready, one of our inspirations for bringing Kaelyn on to talk about voice intelligence is a new feature that just launched, I think, like a week or two ago, called Generative Custom Operators. And the idea there is that in natural language, anyone can describe how they want to score or rate a call. And then we'll use generative AI to build out those operators and to go through the call to give a scoring for that. So I think this is a super cool product. So I'm very excited to see that. Kaelyn, you ready for your screen?
I am ready. And did you guys want to start from the beginning and create a brand new service? I want to start from the beginning
and create a brand new service. Let's do the whole voice intelligence thing from the beginning. We're here with you, Kaelyn.
Let's do it. All right, so the first thing that we need is a theme. What is the theme of our service? What are we, who's going to be our caller? Who's going to be?
I had an idea for this, and it might be a bad idea, but you guys are going to go with me.
We're already committed to your
Let's have a joke hotline.
Oh, that was good.
That's interesting. Let's get some opinionated AI responses. Like, how are they going to describe funny? That's going to be so fun.
We're just going to find out.
All right. So just really quickly to go over the services, the first thing that you would want to do is tell, what to listen out for. So since we are creating a joke bot, I'm going to make a new service where, I'm going to name it joke bot, and then I can choose if I want to have any PII redaction, auto transcribe, and then, this information to help Twilio become better at transcribing. But for this, I'm only going to select auto transcribe. We're not going to say any PII information. And honestly, when you check PII redaction, you don't always get that conversation summary, which can be so helpful whenever you're looking back at previous chats, like, hey, what actually happened? So let's go ahead and create our service. Now, I already have some language operators filled in. These are custom operators. And, this is for things that are pertaining to what you're gonna listen out for. So if you saw previously, I had plants. Don't be afraid by the weapons. I gotta get rid of weapons. It was for Valero.
Nope. It was for what?
Valero, my villain superhero webinar. So like if people would order weapons, like, hey, was it an evil villain or was it a superhero that ordered the weapons? So they can sort of categorize what was going on. But without context, it seems really crazy.
It's one of those, like, don't ask too many questions. Like, I was just like, I won't bring it up if she doesn't bring it up. So I was like, yeah, so great.
And then we have some already preloaded operators that Twilio gives us, like recording disclosure. If the operator who picked up the call is actually saying like, hey, this call is going to be recorded, which is important for legality reasons. Got to make sure you're telling people that this is being recorded, because that is what voice intelligence does. It records your chat. So unless you guys want to break the law and add it. No, we're not.
We're on record here.
Yeah, we're
record schmeckered. So you have that. You have other things such as like voicemail detection. Hey, did this call actually go through or did it not go through? And conversation summary. We should probably add that. Thank you, OpenAI, for this. This is where it can look over the entire context of the conversation and just give you some text that can summarize it in a cute little paragraph. Entity recognition, you don't really need this as much, but why not add it? It's a way to recognize, different items like, hey, this is a name. Hey, this is an address. Hey, this is something else that we can categorize. And it does it automatically.
And then question on that one, because I know there's like certain AI tools that are better for that than others. I know like now Twilio can like use different speech to text providers. Is that baked into this?
No, because those are, we say where they are bought from. So if it's Amazon Comprehend
that's
or
cool. Okay.
AI, so it says who the provider is automatically. So like Twilio built this. So if you have a problem with this agent introduction operator, talk to Twilio.
And can someone create their own operator?
Let's do that now. Let's go ahead and create some custom operators alongside weapons and plants.
Perfect.
Yeah. Before we jump into the generative operator, maybe we can start off by, doing the basics and then work our way up to the gen operators.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So if we're building a chat bot, or joke bot, I should say, let's think of some things that we want it to listen out for, such as joke type.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a funny person. I'm trying to think. What are some elements of
You're
a
not.
joke?
I think you're a very funny person, Kaelyn. Don't sell yourself short.
We've literally been cracking up so many times on stream. You're like, I'm not a funny person. What? Like, no. Also, I love the comment. We're building a CRM, and someone started using custom operators. So that is awesome. Always great to hear. So yes. All right. Back to the non-funny Kaelyn.
Serious. Okay, so let's make a label for joke type. So, there's different types of, there's knock-knock jokes. I'm going to need y'all's help for the other types of.
Okay.
Knock-knock is a good one.
Yeah.
Because if you say knock-knock, it's a knock-knock joke.
There's dad.
Is it per phrase, or could you have a bunch of phrases?
Oh, you can add as many phrases as you like. So it can be an exact match. Like, I am listening out for the literal string of knock, knock. Or you can say, hey, I want something that's similar, like
fuzzy match. Nice.
What's another way of saying knock, knock that's not specific? Hey there. No, that's
Who's there? No, I don't know, because it's like the joke
I
has a
feel
very
like-
specific format.
Yeah, I feel like knock knock is the only way. Yeah, unless chat, y'all have a thought of like how else knock knock would present itself. I feel like it's really just straightforward. Knock knock. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Does that
just
fall
do
into an umbrella? Of
I don't
jokes?
know.
Knock knock.
Like,
of like structured jokes similar to knock knock jokes. Let me look this up. Like,
Okay.
no, that's
Um,
perfect. That's
doing
perfect.
some-
Structured jokes. So knock knock is a type of structured joke.
yeah.
Look at us. We're smart.
Let's see if there's
Yeah.
some other ones.
What are some other
List
ones?
of joke structures. Nah, like this is getting too deep into the comedy ways.
It's funny. I was actually, yeah.
I like this. No, I kind of like this. Look at us. We're getting very technical about jokes. This is
yeah,
very-
there's some science of
separate.
jokes, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'll just add who's there. You can say, "What's up, dog?"
I mean, there's a kind that we're not gonna do on here, but like, do you remember the like, I feel like as like a teenager or like elementary school, like there was like the yo mama jokes, but we're not gonna do any of those here.
Or,
But like
it
that was
like,
that was a structure.
But it's also like a punchline.
Yeah.
Like, would it be more like punchline? kind of-
Punchlines help.
Yeah. It's like
Isn't
a
that when you use your mama jokes?
yes.
We're not gonna do any, but like you can put that. You might as well
Okay.
put that there. We're not gonna do
Yeah.
any, but like we should know that if it's someone decides to do a yo mama joke, it is technically a structured joke.
It is. Yeah.
And we'll do a fuzzy match just in case they say, "Yo, mother."
Your mother.
Thine mother.
Thine mother.
Sorry. Ah man. Let's see. What other?
Or like there's also the jokes like walks into a bar. That's a very structured joke.
Okay. Would a riddle be considered like? No, riddles are not. It's not really. Just a little
Yeah.
brain teaser. Okay.
Riddle me this. Why not? We'll go.
This
All right.
is good.
We'll go there.
I mean,
Start.
certain people have their like Larry the Cable Guy had his whole like shtick. Certain
Yeah.
people have like a structure.
Yeah. Thou maternal parents. I like that. Thou. Okay, so all right, so we just can you just kind of rewind it back? What did we just
Yes.
do? So we started off. Yeah.
We made a custom operator. And so within this custom operator joke type, we're saying, hey, there's a phrase set called structured phrases. And then we can go ahead and create another phrase set, such as unstructured. Unstructured.
How would you, Leah?
Unstructured. I don't know how you would categorize an
No.
unstructured joke.
I was like thinking like, how do you categorize a dad joke? But it's like it's a vibe. It's not like I don't think a phrase is gonna tell you it's a dad joke.
No, we might
Wow.
need the Gen AI.
Yeah, we'll have to get there. We'll get there later. Yeah.
We'll get there. Yeah.
That was
Um,
very clippable. A dad
Oh, yeah, I have another phrase for structured. It's like, what do you call? I feel like those are jokes that you get a lot. Like, what do you
yeah.
call a blah, 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 that's blah, blah, blah,
Let's add that phrase right at
Yeah.
the bottom.
What do you? Yeah.
Maybe I'm
Exact match.
I
look at all
love
these
it.
jokes.
We're teaching AI how to tell jokes or
Or
understand
hear
it.
jokes.
Yeah.
Here, I tried this one time. I tried building a sarcasm bot. Oh,
Oh, that's yeah.
that was
But sarcasm is probably good, especially on voice, because half of sarcasm is the tone. I will say people take me way too seriously sometimes. Like they think I'm more into. I was like, I'm really being unserious. So like sarcasm is like the tone.
it's the tone.
Sarcasm, it's the tone. But yeah. All right. So we got
Do
our
you
joke.
ever have
bot.
problems with sarcasm over text? I feel like you got to
Oh
go
my
emojis or else it
God.
doesn't work.
I like no, seriously. I like add an extra exclamation point or something. Yeah, I had a
Wait,
moment.
is that why all your mean messages to me have like 7 exclamation points? I'm kidding.
Yes, the Slack messages being like, yeah. Exclamation point.
So,
Okay.
so this is generative custom operators. I haven't used this before. Can you tell us a little more about what's going on here?
Yeah. So I mean, it's able to sort of categorize based on instructions that you give it. So you saw before how we were like entering words like knock knock. We want you to look out for something specific, or we want you to look out for something that's sort of similar to what we listed here. But when you use a generative operator, you don't have to really specify anything in particular. You could just give it instructions and say, hey, this is how I want you to grade and test this call.
Okay.
So you can do this with call scoring, different types of intents, which I think we should try today, and then different types of tailored summaries. So like if you're looking for anything that speaks out in the conversation, like, hey, I want to know when they talked about, you know, how much they want to spend on a plant, for example, or how many weapons they want to buy. You know, you can tell it to actually look out for those items as well. So I'm wondering if we should do intent recognition to try to.
Should we ask it if it can give a rating of how funny a joke is? Would that make sense?
Let's do that. I want to see if I can find another way to grade jokes. Because again, I wish I was just a little bit funnier to know how a joke is operated in.
Oh, you want to think like, how do you grade a joke?
And this might be jumping ahead of things, but I actually did start looking about how large language models can grade a joke. But this was 11 pages. I was like, But it was helpful. It was helpful to try to say like, hey, but most of this was based off of laughing. Like, hey, do people laugh? Was it boring? And that's like, you know, audible. Like, did you hear the person laughing in the background? Which might not be fair because we could just force it for the sake of testing. I want this to be as legit as possible. I want it to be legit. But yeah, funny, boring, funny, dull, funny, serious, funny, serious.
Why don't we have it tell us if a joke is a dad joke?
Oh yeah, that could be good.
All right, I'm definitely gonna have to lean on y'all for support for dad jokes.
No, that's fine. We'll get you dad jokes, Wikipedia has a great explanation of what a dad joke is, so we can, we can just like describe what a dad joke is.
Yeah.
And let me know when you want the description now. You ready? Or do we need to write some stuff before?
I'm debating. Should we
say like?
I think I'll listen to it twice. You know, I'll listen to it once.
So a dad joke is a joke, typically a pun, often presented as a one-liner or a question. But actually, I don't like that definition as much. The dictionary has a better one. A dad joke is an unoriginal or predictable joke, especially a pun of a type supposedly told by fathers.
I think the biggest standout from that sentence was pun.
Yeah.
I think a bot could detect a pun just because, you know, like, oh, double entendres.
Yeah.
So let's give it a task of you are a
judge at a dad joke competition.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
This is so
it's very important.
You grade based on this criteria.
Yeah, they should be obvious or predictable. A pun, yeah.
Yeah.
And then can we just say if the joke is funny and let the AI see if I can figure out what funny means?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna know what an AI bot thinks is funny.
It's all a black box.
Is the joke humorous?
Oh, jeez, that's spelling this off. The joke is humorous.
I feel like humor seems like it would be understood by the AI. Okay.
There you go.
All right. This is good. This is a strong start.
This is a good start.
Okay, cool.
So maybe we should record a call and then compare it against our prompt to know if it's actually working or not. I mean, we kind of get started. I just feel lazy about going back and editing a prompt.
For sure. I have a dev phone up if you want to. Should we do that?
Ooh. Not yet.
Okay.
Because I want to make just a quick studio flow that says, tell me your joke, just so it's a little bit more obvious. And from it has to be on my service just because it's listening to all the recordings coming in.
For sure. And then I can use my dev phone to call your service.
That sounds perfect.
Joke bot.
If anyone has any favorite dad jokes that they want me to tell live on stream, drop them in chat. Otherwise, I will happily go to I Can Has Dad Jokes.
So yes, please add any of your.
Where's Robertables when you need a dad joke? I feel like
I know.
Jokes are flying there, but
I don't have my.
This call is being recorded. Silly goose. Okay, so we're gonna say it. We're gonna add the record. Where's call recording? One thing I love about this widget, just I don't know how this fits into anything that we've previously said, but you can't start recording a call unless you have a save play beforehand. Like if you just try to connect this incoming call widget to the call recording, it's not going to work in the back end.
Okay.
I think so cool.
Good to know.
Fun fact. Okay, so we have our call recording on. We will have another save play that says, tell me your best joke, and we will go from there.
Nice.
Okay, the thing that this is kind of exciting about, which is like, I'm starting to think about like music. So just say if you had to like submit a line, a verse, and just like having a resource that like grades your song or something. But like, I don't know, as I'm seeing the flow, it's giving ideas, you know? Okay, so we have say play. Tell me your best, then press pound.
I'm being lazy instead of actually deleting the previous one. Okay, so user press keys, and we'll just add another save play that says,
okay.
User press keys. Thank you. We will judge you now. Let's publish it.
Only few will be chosen to be America's next top dad joke.
Will it pause there for me to? Did you have a pause? There's like something I hit in the flow at the end. You built that so fast.
I don't. Yeah, we're gonna check it out and see in just a second. We're doing everything live.
As we should
be. Live coding. JokeBot. Welcome to JokeBot.
Sweet. And then Kaelyn, if you want to like in Slack, send me the number and I'll call.
Wait. Perfect. Where is my little Slack bot?
You might not. You're here. I'll take you off screen for a minute. No worries. And then I will be using the dev phone to make this phone call.
Perfect. All right. It is sent to you. I'm also going to call in the background because what if I did that wrong?
Sweet. We'll find out if you did it wrong. And I think we'll see if I get audio through this or not. You guys have to tell me if you hear it, but are you calling it to check it?
Knock, knock. Who's there? Me. Goodbye.
So there was one.
Boy.
Okay. I think my audio should be coming through, but we'll find out in a moment.
Okay.
Do you guys hear that?
Nope.
No? Why are fish so smart? Because they live in schools. It hung up on me.
Awkward. Did you press pound?
No.
Were you supposed to press pound?
I don't know.
Plugging time. And anybody in the chat, please feel free. I think I made that a little too quickly.
That as we do.
You know, I just wanted to get something on the board. You know, that was priority.
All right. Can anybody tell me where I went wrong? We have the call recording. I think this extra say play.
Here, let me yeah. I think you I don't think you're waiting
get rid of
oh no, you have gather.
I have gather for user press keys.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Oh, do you have a stop gathering after
time.
5 seconds?
Yeah, might need a little. People might take a while to tell their jokes.
Stop gathering on key press. Yes,
Sweet.
we have our little hash.
But you only have 30 seconds to tell us a joke. I like that.
30 seconds. But then do we need to tell them they have 30 seconds?
Nah.
And it's even funnier.
Joke now.
All right, Alex. Actually, should I give it one more?
I got it. I'll do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. Let's do it live.
Let me see if this will work now.
Okay, moment of truth.
Hold on. We'll remove Kaelyn, add mine. Sweet. Call the number again. You should be able to hear it now.
This call is being recorded, silly goose. Tell me your best joke, then press pound. Okay.
So I made a playlist for hiking. It was music from Peanuts, the Cranberries, and Eminem. I called it my trail mix.
That's horrible. That's so bad. That's so bad.
Oh, press pound. Done. That worked.
Okay.
So your flow worked. Yeah, that was from
was
I
so
Can Has
bad.
Dad Jokes. I can't take credit for that one.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go back and let's see. Oh, wait.
Can we go look at it now? Did it record?
Your 5 most recent.
I called from a 888 number.
Let me refresh this page
Okay.
just in case and copy everything because we're going to lose it.
Yeah.
This is so funny.
I'm going to wait until you have the right one pulled up for me because I don't want to, just want to make sure that we're not showing too many phone numbers.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. If a joke takes longer than 30 seconds, I'm sleeping. Good night.
Wow. Wow,
Okay.
the attention.
Ready to go.
So there's my, okay. Yeah, let's see what it
didn't
thinks
catch
of
a
this.
lot. I made a platelets for hiking is music from Peanuts, the Cranberries, and Eminem. I call it trail.
I wonder if it's using the wrong microphone and I was talking into my nice mic and it's not using it. Should we do another one?
Yeah, well, I want to see what the results give us.
Okay.
First.
Yeah.
Pun. Yes, there's a pun with trail mix and the mix of artist mentions.
It knew.
Obvious and predictable. It's a
The
bit
setup is a bit
convoluted.
convoluted. It was.
I love this. I love this.
Oh man. The
It may
humor's
elicit a
subjective.
chuckle from someone due to the absurdity of the combination of artists.
Oh my gosh.
But I didn't laugh at my own joke, so it's not funny. So that's the problem.
What? Oh, indicating the joke may have not landed well.
Yo, that is so good. I mean, it's subjective. You may get a chuckle here and there, but like I don't know.
Did it? And does it score it?
Ooh, we should have. Okay.
I think it scored. Does it automatically score or no?
I didn't tell it to give it a score.
Okay.
I'll tell it
we
to give it
add?
a score.
Could we add? Okay, that is too good. I like this. This is my kind of humor, because it's like, yeah, this. I don't know. This. It's a little. This bot has a little pizzazz. That has a little snappy. Damn.
Oh, I got only a score of 1 for the pun.
Damn. Wow. The score.
Oh. 0 wasn't even an option. It's from 1 to 5, and they gave you a 0.
Damn.
Good thing it wasn't my joke.
Wow. Whoa.
We'll take this out. We'll take this out.
Yeah, because there's not gonna be laughter. That makes sense.
But I did like that. Is there another thing that can oh, maybe we can ask
Ooh,
you
that's a
could
good
also,
point. We don't know.
we can grade like if would you share this joke? Would you tell this joke again or something like that? Like would you share shareability? You know? LOL. But I love how once it started to grade, it got less it got more refined before.
A joke is shareable if it can be told at a wedding or a funeral.
Oh my god.
Shareability.
I thought you said you weren't
Shareability.
funny, Kaelyn. That's great.
LOL.
I got a 2 out of 5. You know what? That
Okay.
joke's a 2 out of 5. I'm there for that.
Okay. Yeah. Not easily due to its complexity, lack of making it unsuitable for weddings or funerals. Okay, got it. That was good. We got
I like this.
okay.
Is there anything else you want to add to the prompt? Because we can really get in there.
I think this is good.
I think it's a good I think so too.
I love how like this is so
2 out of 5 though.
Here's the thing I love about this. It's so out there. Like whatever it is you're trying to grade on, or like I know there's like examples about like upsell potential or like script adherence, which are like great, but like you can get weird with this, right? If there's something and you want to try to like talk about like is your person being empathetic on the phone, like there's so many things you can do.
It also I could also even see this like folks who do work to like coach folks around speaking or talks. Being able to just kind of have a tool that helps you. Hey, say your speech on this. We want to actually we're gonna create a Brent bot at some point.
Do you remember? So Bianca, not like we did this one build once, like the "Can you hear me" build, and the whole notion there was like somebody calls up and then is like, "Hey, like, can you hear me? Does this work?" Of course, everything goes but like, can you hear me? Does this work? You could actually add a operator that then texts them and said, "Hey, you sounded good," or "You didn't sound good," or "Hey, you're like," you could do that with like a speech grading. You could be like, "Hey, call this number, give your speech, and the AI will send you feedback." That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
I like that. Great guys.
Yeah.
Gals and everybody.
We have a question from Ali, which is how can I pay in Twilio? Are you talking about like the pay verb, or you're talking about like how can you actually like pay for the services that you're using? So let us know what you mean there, and we can try to answer that question for you. Yeah. We can keep doing this, or I had multiple people asking me voice questions, Kaelyn.
Go right ahead.
So wait, Brent said you could prompt them to read a script and then verify that their audio matches in the transcripts. Like that would be a way to like, see does your sound work? That'd be a good one.
Yeah. No,
you could text them the script when they call.
I like this.
Yeah.
I think especially it also reminds me of what is it? I think 11 Labs has kind of, you'll have the popular voices from just kind of the greats. And I could see over time kind of these bots that are trained with like the best of the best trainers, and that they're able to kind of scale out like their secret sauce in some ways with what they look for in a song or in what have you. So I like this. I like this. There's room. I think what I appreciate about this, which is like, there's room to kind of scale out something that's super valuable, but that's easy to kind of deprioritize, right? Like, it's helpful to get all these data points, but like, are you often investing, right, in that? And I think the ability and the ease to kind of like, there's all this rich data. How can we grab it? How can we use it to make better decisions about our business or improvements? I think that like, there's something there.
Yeah, I agree. What are you doing with the service here?
Sorry, I skipped ahead and
You're
I
just
didn't
going
even
for
share.
it.
I
love
know
it.
I was, because something that I brought up earlier is that it's really cool that all of this can be automated, so you don't have to re-listen to everything. But then you also need to sort of funnel this data somewhere, and so that's where the webhooks come into place. So you can say, hey, once all of the language operator results are available, what do you want to do with it? Like, what do you want to do now? So something that you could do to automate the process. So I created a function that will go ahead and grab all of the operator results and send it to my server that I have somewhere. You know what? I forgot about my computer restarting and my server's not even running at the moment.
You're good.
Darn. Oh, I had something. Well, I guess I can just speak on it.
Yeah, go for it.
So we can
Walk us through the code.
instead. All right, see, I have it here.
So this is where your recordings go, or the service goes after the voice intelligence.
Exactly. So
Okay.
after your transcript has been transcribed and it's ready to go,
Mhm.
it'll automatically trigger this webhook, and in the request, it'll send, all the information that you need for it. So let me instead just console log the operator results and turn on the live logs. Hopefully it won't be too messy. So you have our operator results. Let's save this, deploy it. And then, Alex, if you feel like giving another dad joke on the dev phone.
Cool. Yeah, let
So we
me
can
let
see
me
Bring
make the
your-
call.
Bring your best, man.
Oh.
Bring your best.
I have 2 lined up. I can't decide if either of them are good. No,
Okay.
I'm gonna do this one.
There's dad jokes that are actually fun. Okay.
Are there dad jokes that are actually funny? Yeah, probably. Okay, let me try again. You guys might not be able to hear the call on my end, but that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Sorry, I wish I could make this a little
Okay,
bit-
Someone asked me, what's the 9th letter of the alphabet? It was a complete guess, but I was right.
Okay.
Get it? I
Yeah.
was right.
Yeah. You gotta that
That was a rough one. That was a rough
That's
one, but I just
it's
went
a
with it
little-
again.
It's
never
one
know.
of those what it's one of those ones that you'd
There.
be like, ah ha ha ha. Ha,
Ah, ha, ha,
ha, ha, ha, ha.
Oh, I like this. Taz
Oh.
Taz Dingo says Twilio functions are so underrated. I moved 18 serverless functions from Vercel today.
Boom.
They're great. Our serverless functions are awesome, especially if it's something related to Twilio. Like I had somebody recently ask how they had to like manipulate data coming out of call logs in a very specific way, and I was like, look, we don't have that service, but you could add it as a function because it has all the Twilio SDKs and everything built in, and you can just pull those up, and then you can have your own endpoint to do whatever you want with Twilio data. I love functions and assets. I think they're great. So thanks for the shout out, Taz Dingo. That's we all agree here too. Yeah. Sweet. So we're setting the server up.
We are, just because
object.
Yeah. So yeah, operator results. Yay. But we can always just view it inside of voice intelligence.
Yeah.
While you ask those questions, Alex, that you said you had earlier.
Well, you got to pay attention because I don't know the answers. That's why I have to ask them to you. Like, I need your help. I'm getting, this is my, like people ask me questions and I'm asking Kaelyn. That's how this is happening right now.
No, that's
All right,
wrong.
let's
That's not
feed it through the pipeline.
Okay. So I feel like these 2 questions are related. They came from 2 very different sources, but I think that they might be pretty similar. So Maro is a Twilion who builds some awesome stuff, and he's building something in Airtable, and he's trying to figure out how an Airtable to make a one-click kind of solution, maybe 1 click, whatever, but like how an Airtable, he can essentially make a proxied phone call. So they have a number for his group, the TEC, the Twilio Engagement Center. There's a phone number that we have dedicated to the Twilio TEC, and he wants to be able to make calls to somebody from the TEC number, but he wants to be able to do it on his own phone. And so I'm wondering, like, how would you structure that? Would you have them both dial into a conference call? And if so, would you do that with like a Twilio function, or or could you do that in Studio some way?
That's interesting. I actually might have to read that question. But from what I think you're asking is, he wants the call to be triggered and then it rings his own phone number?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can add a call widget inside of Studio. So whenever a call comes into this unknown number, you can tell it to redirect the call
He wants it to
to
be
another.
outbound on both ways.
Outbound on both ways?
Like he
Okay, so
wants
outbound.
to like click a link to trigger the Studio API
Uh-huh.
that would then make a call to him to get him on the conference call, and then also make a call to the customer to get them on the conference call. I'm not sure there's a way to do it in Studio. I tried.
Is it almost like they're like not passing the baton, but similar to how on what is it?
It's basically how do you initiate how would you initiate a proxy call if you were like could you make an outbound proxy call? Like that's kind of the question. Proxy call being like I'm making the call, but it looks like it's coming from a Twilio number.
Yes. Yes. Wait. Yes. But I guess I'm a little bit confused about who is. Okay, so the table is going to trigger a call, or it's going to trigger something, and he wants it to connect to his phone number, but then call from. So the calls from would look like it's from a Twilio number, not his number.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How would you do it?
Let's scoot on over to Studio. I actually have something for that. Where is accept calls? So whenever I don't want to, whenever I don't want to give out my own personal number, I go ahead and say like, hey, if the call is from my number, I want you to say, trigger and call the person that was specified.
Oh.
Trying to hide my number.
Got it.
But I'm not sure if it can be done from a webhook. We can always try that.
I was trying from a webhook. I have a feeling that because of the way the Studio is set up, I feel like if you do an API, there's not actually an active call. Because like if you look
That's
at like because you connect. So I wonder if you have to like do this through a function where you have to like create a basically, can you create a conference call and then have that conference call make an outbound call?
That sounds like a really fun challenge.
Okay.
I don't have the answer to that, but I would definitely love to work on that if
we had another
permits.
one. There's another one, and this is a more complicated one that somebody asked us to. And I'm going to pull this up because I think these two are related. And I think they would be almost the same thing. And I'm going to share my screen for this one because he wrote requirements.
I
can't promise answers, but
we can try. I told them we try on screen. So
we'll try effort.
Essentially,
7 things.
Yeah, I think you got this email too. This person emailed us out of the blue, and I said I'd try to help them on stream. So they have 2 people in a call that's initiated via the web app. So let's assume those people are in a call. And then someone clicks a conference button, and they get to bring a third person in. So basically, there's like a call merge call. I feel like this is doable with like the conference call like tool, but I'm not sure. But this is the same thing. It'd be like, can you make an outbound call from a conference call?
On the topic of AI, I want to say, let's ask ChatGPT. But no, let's look at the docs.
Go into the docs.
Because they're so easy.
Ask a Twilio. Welcome to today's segment. Great.
So outbound conference calls Twilio. And what were the other requirements? I'm very curious.
I think this was the bulk of it. He basically wants to like have somebody on hold while you add the other person, but I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah.
Outbound.
Okay. Can you make your screen can you make the text a little bigger?
No. Yes.
Never.
All right, we have to buy the phone number. Where are you routing it? Set up the web application. Is this the right page? Dynamic conference calls with moderators. The fun part.
I know. Well, there's a help article, how to implement outbound conference calling with Twilio clients.
That was at the top of the page.
It says you can do it with the JavaScript SDK. For more than 2 people. Oh, cool. I guess it does have a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Calling in a
Says
voice
there's a quick start.
application. Which number has the quick start? Quick start.
Yeah, they're on there.
Recommend everyone do.
We're all doing this the same. We're doing this together. Yeah.
We're figuring this out together as one.
Yeah. This is like a lot of what our job is. Like, we don't know all the answers, but we are probably a little bit better because we're in it every day of figuring this out. Hey, Rashab, do you know how to make an outbound call to a conference call?
Way to put Rashab on the spot.
I'm going to put Rashab on the spot. He can just say no. He's not on camera, but he's here. Rashab also, shout out, now has a show tomorrow. Every Wednesday, Rashab and Andrew get on for Build a Blog, and they build a blog post.
Build a blog. Do you have a jingle? Who knows?
Yeah, Rashab, do you guys have a jingle? We're putting you on the spot again.
Yeah. It's just constant on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. How to set up outbound conference. Okay.
It seems like there's a way to do it.
It does.
Yeah.
And
so
we should send them this article.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some scoping. I think that's the other piece too, right? On the evangelist side, it's just like we start to kind of scope out like your issue in some ways and just like, okay, here's how we can kind of
There almost
and try to build
every time there's somebody's written an article or a blog post or a help article or there's a doc that tells you how to do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, no, our docs, shout out to the docs team. We just need a t-shirt that says shout out to the docs.
Shout out to the docs team. I like it.
Because clearly.
Thank you, Rashab. It's mostly Bianca, I'll admit.
But I find inspiration all around. So thank you. Thank you for, the moments of the jingle inspiration. It was great.
Yeah. Okay. We'll send this
pretty
article to our friend who emailed us.
Okay.
And try to build it ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the coolest jobs about being an evangelist too. It's like you have a problem and then it's like, okay, now I'm interested and I want to figure out how it works. Like answering machine detection. Actually, no, except for answering machine detection.
That's
that one is that.
Yeah.
I remember someone asked, someone in Germany, I think, they were like, how do you do an answering call detection in the German language? And it's like, that's
how do you do it in any language? It's a little hard.
Yeah, honestly, in any language, it's going to be hard to notice, like if it's a beep or if they have a call that says, hi, I'm not here at the moment. And then they start talking.
Yeah.
My voicemail's like, hi there. And it's like, it's smooth. It's like, so then it might be a little, answering machines are shaky.
Wait, do you do the fake out where it's like, hey, how are you? Just kidding, I'm not there. Leave me a message.
Do you do that?
I had an era. I did have an era.
No.
I did have an era where I just had
one of those people.
I was, and I proudly
get so mad. I'm sure you got so many people upset. Like, how could you, Bianca?
Everyone. So people like my voicemail now because they it feels like a warm hug because it's like I'll talk to them. I was like, and God bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And it's like, so my voicemail's like very nice. Hi there, sorry I missed your call.
I'm like debating if I should call your voicemail live on stream and put it on speakerphone.
You should. Let's do it. Let me see if it'll send you my phone just died, so it probably will go to voicemail. Yeah, it's a nice little voicemail. You can listen to it. Okay, let's do it.
Give me 1 second. I gotta just fix something here.
Okay, this is so funny.
Of course,
it's all in the voice family.
It's all
in the voice family.
It's voice because sometimes what you got? Unless it's like your voicemail is full. Unless it's like your voicemail is full.
That would be awkward.
That would suck.
Wait, where are you here? I definitely have your phone number.
I don't even know if I have a voicemail. I think it's just like the Sprint automated. This person has not set up a voicemail.
Let's see. Is mine still there? Yeah.
Let's find out.
Okay. This is so funny.
Calling Bianca St. Louis.
Yep. It's real.
Let's see if it connects. I don't have great service in my house, so we'll find out.
We'll see.
It's not
and also
do anything.
And also my phone is like dead. So,
Might go straight to voicemail. Right now, it's just not doing anything,
Same,
which is fun.
Rashab.
oh, interesting.
The automated one from the provider.
So I
That's
don't
the
know
best one.
I don't know what causes.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Okay,
It
we
is
got you
calling.
here.
Oh,
Why is it? It sounds
Is
like
your watch
nothing's
ringing?
happening.
yeah, my watch rang.
I think
But
I'm
then
on the
I,
phone
like-
with you right now. I don't know what's going on. Nothing. It didn't do anything.
You are? That's so.
Did you
'cause I
hit accept on your phone?
No, I thought I declined it on my phone.
Oh.
Definitely decline it now.
Okay. All right, let me press the little button.
Hi there, it's Bianca St. Louis. So sorry I missed your call, but I look forward to making time to connect with you at my earliest convenience. So please leave a detailed message with your name, phone number, reason for the call, and I will reach back out to you at my earliest convenience. Thank you so much for your call today and reaching out, and I hope that God just blesses you abundantly, and that you just have an awesome rest of your day. God bless.
It's so
That's
beautiful.
amazing.
Now I know who I'm going to call and I'm having a bad day.
You
I'm
know,
going to
literally-
text you, Bianca, and be like, don't pick this up. And then I'm just going to like,
That's wild.
yeah.
That's wild.
It's so funny. It was so funny because like my friends would be like, "Oh my gosh, like that felt so nice," and I was like,
That is really nice.
I like because it also was just like, you know, I'm not picking up, but I need to distract you that I'm not picking up, so I give you a nice message to hold you over in case I may not get back to you for the next week or two.
There's
And then,
There's
Yeah.
a chance that mine is like, hey, I don't really listen to these, so send me a text if you need something.
you're one of those. There
Yeah.
are some people that are like, oh yeah, I have some friends that are like, I'll probably never listen to this, but good luck. You know, my earliest convenience is usually
The second Tuesday of next week.
okay. But what is that is real. That is real.
It's always going to be the second Tuesday of the next week.
Yeah.
Do
Never
people
making it.
call? Yes, calls. What is going on with everyone? What are the text messages or not voice?
So-
We need voice. Voice.
Rashab, if you learned and if you read the state of customer engagement, you would know that younger generations, which like Gen, I'm millennial, so then the next one would be like Gen Z and even Gen Alpha. Gen Z prefers call more than millennials do. It bottomed out with millennials and it's going back up. People are liking phone calls
Really?
more.
I feel like the millennials like got into this like work, optimize, like every day, no work, not no work, all work, no play. So it's like optimize your time. Why are you on calls? Don't be on calls. You should be working. And I was just like, y'all pick up the phone, talk to people, you know, every now and then. Yes, Frackberg. Yes, you are supposed to use your phone, like an actual phone. Can call.
Where does
voices.
FaceTime fall into all of this?
Because
Because I feel like I'm a FaceTime person. Like even if it's just show me the dog. Like let me see
That
the
works.
dog. That's why I call.
It's
I
an
do
experience.
I do a lot more FaceTiming now that I have a child because like it's actually a great way to entertain a child for a few minutes. Be like, here's grandma, here's grandpa, and just like literally like hand her the phone and she will walk around and talk to them and show
My-
them, look at this
My
thing I just played with.
favorite-
Yeah.
I love
My
that.
favorite is like the kid phone to like, and all you're staring at is like their eyes, and you're like, no, hold it over here. The favorite is when they start running with the phone, and I'm like, you know, just like that. Okay, so
Oh, here we go. Wait, here we go. I got it. That's what I was
okay,
pulling up.
what you got?
Okay. Look, so we have Gen Z,
Oh.
Millennial, Gen
Oh
X,
my gosh,
and
a
Baby Boomer
chart.
here. I've got a chart, of course. Phone calls. Like, look, Millennials and Gen Z and Gen X do not like phone calls. Even Baby Boomers. Look who's at the top of this list. Gen Z.
No
34% prefer phone calls.
See, but I think going back into like voice as a platform, right? Like, but there's still something so personal about a voice call. You know, like
Mhm.
I just feel like text can sometimes feel so like not personal. And then also it's just like I'm calling to talk to my friend, not in a text message thing. And nowadays, who knows? ChatGPT could have created your whole text thread. You know, you could probably are you even texting me? So
Are you even
it's
real?
yeah, you know. So I think for me, like the phone call part is just like, let's be real. And then also like we don't even see each other as much in terms of just like connection. So I think for me, voice feels so sacred. It feels, yeah.
It feels more accomplishing too, because whenever you have a problem and you need to figure something out, it's like I'm not going back and forth on text message. I need a human to speak to, or a bot that's really smart. You got to talk it out sometimes.
So
100%, and that's why I try to meet all my friends on stream.
Important, yeah. And Frostberg needs to FaceTime Brent. Y'all are, very important.
When you fun fact, when you FaceTime Brent, you get the bot.
Oh, wow. You don't even get a Brent. What do you have to do you have to qualify for Brent?
You don't get answers.
Oh.
Wow.
Brent doesn't do FaceTimes.
Harsh.
Wow.
I will say, I go back when I'm really trying to connect with somebody though, I actually prefer voice over FaceTime because you can kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's a different level of engagement. And when you're looking at somebody on the FaceTime, it's still a screen, so you don't feel as connected. I feel like I can get a little deeper when I'm just talking. That might just be me. Yeah.
Difficult conversations, especially. Yeah.
I could see that. I'm curious, Kaelyn, you shared some stuff with what is it? Generative custom operators and voice intelligence as a whole. What are you excited about in terms of this kind of next iteration, right? As you're playing around with these tools, what has you excited about voice?
It's funny because I don't really know if it's another iteration that I'm excited about. I'm more excited about the, everything coming together. So all of the other products that you have, just joining together, fusing to be one. So, you can have voice AI and have all this, just really smart interactions with bots, but then you want some follow-up. Maybe you want an email to be sent that summarizes the call. Maybe you want to get a text message reminder based off of, a scheduled appointment that you made over the phone. So I think if anything, I'm more excited about everything coming together and creating a better ecosystem for all. Voice is powerful, but voice on its own, it needs its companions to make it a really powerful experience for people. So I think just to sum it all up, just take everything and put it together. That's what I'm most excited about.
I like that. I do.
Should we go into our deep questions, Bianca? Is it time?
Okay, let's do it. I don't have them pulled up, so
I'm just gonna remember some off the top of my head, and we'll get
great.
Kaelyn,
let's go.
What inspires you to build?
Oh, that's a good question. I think everything around me. Sometimes the problems that I face, sometimes if I see, something, I'm just that could be a little bit more efficient. Whether it has to do with, Twilio products or just making stuff for everyday life better. I want efficiency. I love optimization and just thinking hey, this could be better. Let me make some type of change. That inspires me to build and craft and create. Even in my house, I know you're saying building in the way of
I mean building in any way you want it to be.
I have some kooky experience. I mean, that's an experiment of just building, just bringing beauty, bringing simplicity into life, making life a lot easier, helping others. Whatever sets my soul at ease, honestly. The world is too complicated and I need things to be simplified and life's just not that hard, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Kaelyn,
wait, thank you so much for helping satisfy one of my stream goals from the very beginning, which was Bianca crying on stream. Happened again. We're here. Love it. Only good tears. Only good tears. That was a beautiful answer.
But
I think it's also that reminder of simplicity. I think that's a theme I'm hearing. It does not have to be so freaking complicated. Okay, back to the serious stuff. Let's see. What product or tech has most inspired you?
That's a good question too. I don't know if I have an answer for that at the moment. For number one tech or product,
or just one that has inspired you.
Yeah, anything.
All right. What has inspired me? I have a very vintage Baogram record player. I mean, this whole experience is completely analog, and it's been one of the most difficult projects that I've worked on because I'm not good at, Arduinos or any type of hardware. So I mean, that has inspired me to always put heart into what I do and to accept and embrace challenges. Yeah, Baogram 4004. That one.
4004.
To the right. Yeah.
Just put that
This thing
in.
has been kicking my butt. Oh my gosh.
God.
It's like I'm trying to restore it. I'm trying to make it
These
work.
things are hard to restore.
but
I've tried some restoration. I've got a friend who's gone deeper, but like you really need to know what you're doing.
But it's a labor of love that you just have to commit to. It's like this is old school technology, but it's worth it. I don't need the newest, greatest, shiniest machine. Like I want something that works well, that produces hi-fi audio, and this just inspires me to really hone in and take my time with this process and to try not to get overwhelmed. Like whenever I'm feeling great, I work on this complicated project because I know it's going to bring me joy when it's all finished.
No, that's a good
Anticipation and build
I
up.
love that. These are also such a weird thing because it's all like electronics and technology, but it's very analog. Like it's like vacuum tubes and resistors and there's not like a circuit board in this thing.
No.
Yeah.
And it'll be the silliest things that, like, oh, maybe I just didn't, weld this together. Like I didn't weld it. Because for one time, like the arm, how it has like a little light so it knows that it's over. It wouldn't turn on. And it's like, I see all the wires are connected. It's welded together perfectly. But, you just got to take your time and make sure you do it right.
Yeah.
No,
I love it.
Love
Okay.
it.
I got one more.
Okay.
One more.
Yeah.
My heart.
So you got your start coding boot camp. So if you were talking to somebody who was either thinking about a coding boot camp or maybe just started one, what advice would you give to somebody? Like early in their career or starting on their education journey?
Ooh. Make friends that are on the same journey with you. Because if you don't have anybody experiencing the same trials and tribulations that you're going to, it's easy to sort of just, remove yourself and say, you know what, I give up. I'm going to stop what I'm working on. But when you have somebody that holds you accountable through those really rough times when you're ready to give up, it makes a huge difference. So,
I love that.
just have somebody that can hold you accountable through the hard times.
Kaelyn, this is
To
great.
make it
We're just gonna need an audio of just like all the motivational Kaelyn moments. This is
And then
great.
we'll put it on a voicemail.
That in the
We'll make a
books.
hotline so people can call and get motivation from Kaelyn.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
a voicemail. Yeah. Copying you, Bianca.
I'm just saying, it'll just switch out. It'll just switch out every other week, just different.
You call and it's like, find somebody to hold you accountable. Leave a message too, I guess.
I just lost my audio for some reason. And I don't know if it was you two.
You're
It's
back.
probably me. I lose my audio all the time.
Oh, well, we
know
can
what's
hear
happening.
you. We
Sorry.
can hear you. But Kaelyn, it was such a blast having you on
No.
chat.
Is
for
every,
having
does
me
chat have audio?
again.
Are you guys hearing everybody? Are you guys hearing each other? Okay, it's
We
just
are.
me.
It is. Well, it's a BK show. It's a Brooklyn show.
I can hear.
JK. So thank you so much, Kaelyn, for joining us today. It was such a blast having you. If folks have questions, Kaelyn probably has written blogs or what have you. So definitely stay connected. Kaelyn, great human all around. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll see y'all. What is it? Next Tuesday, 2 p.m. We have a few shows this week. So we have what is it? We have Build a Blog tomorrow.
Yeah,
on
build a
Wednesday.
blogs tomorrow.
And then we have Developer Lens on Thursday. So lots of awesome stuff. We have Signal in about a month, probably like 70 plus days. So definitely hang out with us then.
And we'll be
Alex,
there. Both of us.
Yes, we will. So come say hey too. Buy a ticket, then say hey. Great. But Alex, any closing thoughts as we wrap? Anything?
No, just reflecting on 50 episodes and having Kaelyn back after she was the first person on, and just really grateful for everyone coming on the show, and for Bianca, you being my co-host, and for Brent helping inspire us to get started. So like, yeah, just really gratitude right now.
From the heart. All right, we'll see y'all next week.